Could Tyreek Hill make Team USA for the World Championships? I say yes. I do not understand how you can have an NCAA championship end in a tie. This doesn't happen in any other sport. You're not going to see, at the end of regulation for March Madness, we're just going to let them, they're both going to be co-champions. We're not going to go to overtime. It's the softest thing that I've ever seen, and it only reaffirms the fact that track and field is softer than people think it is.
This was the worst 400-meter championship in probably the last 20, 25 years. This is the worst the final has ever been. Time, accolades. Shout out to the guys that's getting medals. I'm not slighting you guys at all. What it took to win is what it took to win.
Welcome back. Another episode, Track World News Podcast. Your host, Colin Waitsman, here with our esteemed co-host, Mr. Noah Williams. Noah, how you doing today, brother?
Hey, blessed and highly favored as always, bro. Ready to talk some track. The NCAA Championship came this weekend, and we had a great championship league along with some Diamond League fun. So I'm feeling good, man. How you feeling, my boy?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. Had a nice weekend. Hung out with some friends. Also, just had Father's Day, so shout out to all the fathers out there. Track dads helping everyone get through. I guess with that, do you have any track and field memory with your dad of maybe it was after a race, a practice, any memories that come to your mind with track and field and your pops?
Not necessarily. I just think that my dad's been there like as a really good supportive figure. He comes to all my competitions and stuff. I think that, that more than anything, he just pulls up and shows love. That's it.
Yeah, it's similar with me. It's nice to have the support. My parents and my mom, my dad especially, would go to like every single. I think they were at. I could probably count on one hand how many track meets that my parents weren't at from high school and college. And so it's like, them traveling all around the country to come support. It's like it means a lot. Like right after you come off the track and you win, or right after you come off the track and you lose, and it was a terrible competition. And just like them being there, like super supportive. So similar thing, just being around is always can be nice. So shout out to everybody else just supporting the kids is good stuff.
Yeah, shout out to the dads, man. Shout out to the dads. I don't got no kids, but I got a lot of sons, if you know what I mean. I ain't got no kids though.
There you go. That's a line. That's a line, bro. All right, let's get into some track and field stuff. Major weekend, like you mentioned, in NCAA track and field. We had some crazy professional stuff as well as some other disappointing news in track earlier. But I guess we'll start off with the main championship that we had, the NCAA championship. Before we get into the individual races, I got to talk about the thing that makes absolutely no sense to me. Gonna get on my stepping stool here, whatever the hell that saying is called. I do not understand how you can have an NCAA championship end in a tie. It makes no sense to me. And so the fact that Texas A&M and USC can both claim that they are NCAA champions makes no sense to me. It's ridiculous that the NCAA will allow for something like this to happen. This doesn't happen in any other sport. You're not going to see, at the end of regulation for March Madness, we're just going to let them, they're both going to be co-champions. We're not going to go to overtime. We're not going to do anything. It's like, why is this allowed in our sport? Whether it be, hey, whoever has the most amount of gold medals, they're the winners. Or do another race. I don't know, do something. But head to head, you can't allow this to have a tie. It's the softest thing that I've ever seen, and it only reaffirms the fact that track and field is softer than people think it is, because you allow stuff like this to happen where this is the headline championship and you have two teams in the same photo holding up the trophies calling themselves champions. It's stupid, and I need it to change like yesterday, because it makes us look like absolute weenies out there. So I had to get that off my chest. I'm tired of seeing these co-champion BS.
Damn. Okay. Well, congrats to the men of Texas A&M. Congrats to the men of USC, and congrats to the women of Georgia. And I don't necessarily disagree with you all the way. I would like to see some sort of format where you can work out whoever had the most, people that scored, like the actual number of people that scored. Team, I don't know, some rule where you can work it out. But as is, bro, we got 2 national champions. I guess that's the way it is. I've never seen another tie. I think the odds for that to happen is incredibly low. I wouldn't imagine this happens again in the next like 25, 30 years. But yeah, man. I mean, overall, like, what did you think of the meet besides the, your little problem?
Yeah. I mean, overall, like it was good. I think the USC men sold on being solo champions. Like USC men should have been the solo champions here. You have 5 people that qualified for the 100. You had Johnny Brackens, who was one of the best 110 meter hurdlers, who doesn't score anything. You had JC Stevens, who was the national champion last year, who didn't even make it into the final for the long jump. Like, they should have ran away with this national championship, and the fact that they didn't was, I mean, it came up to some of the things you were talking about last week of just like, hey, not like folding under pressure. Now it worked for them, like, because they had enough talent and enough people that they still got the co-title, but they should have been solo champions in here, just based on the talent and everything that they had. They were too good, in my opinion, to not be the single champion. So good for them on getting it. But I'd say, like, the times weren't great for a lot of the things. I mean, there were a few records that were broken on the sprint side, but overall, like, there's a lot of surprises, a lot of people that I thought would win that didn't win, and a lot of drama of people that you thought would even make the final that didn't end up making the final. So it was drama filled. It was exciting, and things that I didn't think would happen that ended up happening, and vice versa. So overall, it was good. Can't complain too much.
Yeah, looking at the top of the leaderboard, right, with these 2 teams that tied, Texas A&M and USC, it's almost like they had a battle to who didn't want to win. Like, let's all sell. Like, Max Thomas, shout out to him. He was on Twitter, popping at me a little bit, and on Instagram, he let me know that I don't know ball, apparently. But I love it, bro. So congrats to him on getting second in the 100. I guess I put a little bit of I put a little battery in his back. Pause. Put a little battery in his back a little bit. To turn him up for the championships. But yeah, no, bro. USC guys, a lot of guys underperformed. Like you said, Johnny Brackens, if he placed 7th in the 4 hurdles, not a finalist in the short hurdles. But I don't know, man. It was interesting. And then on the Texas A&M side of things, obviously our guy Ahmad told me don't go too hard on Ahmad, and I won't. But that was definitely one of the most disappointing performances, if not the most disappointing athlete out of all of the athletes at the meet. Maybe Michaela Rose would be another one, but definitely on the men's side, bro. Ahmad is the last one. The team had a great opportunity to win the meet, 6 in the 400. The team still had an opportunity to win the meet in the 4x4. You got walked down. I mean, and that's just the facts. There's no hate shit. It's just the facts. And so it's kind of like a sell-off, like which school wanted to sell the championship more, and they both wanted to sell the championship equally. Congrats to both.
Both wanted to sell it, yeah. And it was a battle for who didn't want to win. But I mean, like, now this 4x4, that race had the most implications on it, because there were 3 different teams that could win. Because keep in mind, Arkansas came in 3rd by only 1 point. So you had Texas A&M with 41, you had USC with 41, and then Arkansas came out with 40. So it was like that race had so many implications for it. The fact that USC fell off that hard in the 4x4 was embarrassing. What, they came in 7th or 8th? It was one of the, I think they only got 1 point out of that. Like, how do you have this much talent and you're falling off that much? It didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I mean, I think they did have Max Thomas in there. He ran the second leg, so I don't think he ran it in prelims. So they had some sort of injury. Yeah, they came in 8th, running a 3:03. So no, yeah, nobody wanted to win that championship. It was a battle. It was a battle for who's going to come in 2nd place to 3rd place. But like, that's the drama that you want to see, and this is why I've been saying for years that I think the NCAA championship is the second best track meet that we have. I think it's the Olympics and then the NCAA championships, because of you have these types of this drama with teams, and with colleges, a lot of like you get a lot of variance of people like India Mayberry. She sold in the 100. You had Saminu who sold in the, like, you have all these, you have national champions that aren't making finals, and you have people that have never made finals that are winning championships. It's like the storylines are crazy because you're dealing with 18-year-old kids who get nervous as hell when they on the line, and you have no idea what's about to happen. Versus like when you got pros, like, bro, you know what Noah Lyles running in the 100. You know what Fred Curley, you know what these guys are running because they've been doing this. That's what, like, March Madness. That's why everyone loves March Madness, because it's crazy. You dealing with like college kids that are doing wild stuff. So it was I think it was a good championship. So I liked it.
It was a good championship for sure, but it definitely wasn't one of those like star-studded, super dominant performances. I was looking for one athlete to just absolutely dominate the meet, and I was looking for Jameeisa Ford, and she probably was the most dominant of the meet, I would say, on the sprints. Obviously winning the 2, placing second in the 100. But yeah, it was just a lack of dominance. I don't think there's many like world championship caliber athletes that was at this meet. And that's okay, because to speak on what you just said, I would completely agree. After the Olympics, I think the NCAA track meet is the best track meet. And on a broadcast standpoint, on a team standpoint, it's just to get behind somebody. I remember as a kid rooting for Baylor because Trayvon was there, or rooting for USC because, you know, Ryan Norman was there. Just depending on the school or the athletes, you kind of just find yourself rooting for that team. And obviously 2021 legendary LSU team is a difference here. But yeah, you know, but it's a great meet, great environment, great energy. And yeah, that's what it is with the NCAA meet.
Yeah, I'd say I think that the 2021 and 2022 seasons were some of the best. We also had, I think, some of the biggest star power in those years. I mean, both on the men and the women's side. I think that's when track was kind of at its peak with college athletes that are now pretty big names. You know, the Abby Steiners of the world. You know, yourself, Taryn, like that. LSU, like, yeah, your team. Yeah, like there was, you know, crazy names going on in that 2021 and 2022 years. This year was the most, you know, unpredictable one that I would say, but versus those years where you knew what was going to happen, you were going to witness greatness. Like records were being broken. A lot of those records that were being set then are still here to this day. So, but that was good stuff. It was good stuff. Now get into the 100. I guess we'll start with that. The men's 100. Jordan Anthony, your guy, coming home with the championship. Now, he said before the race he was going for that American record of a 9:69. That ain't happened. That he, not only did it not happen, he wasn't even close. But he got the championship. He got the dub, which in this race is all that matters. You know, being able to come home with the win. Like you said, Max Thomas going and getting second place in it as well. Overall, what would you say? Well, here, I guess we might as well just riddle off the top three. So we had Jordan Anthony, 10:07, Max Thomas with a 10:10, which rounded down to a 10.091. Jelani Watkins came in third with a 10:10 or a 10.092. So Max Thomas came in second by, what is it, a thousandth of a second. So really, really close race there. So your thoughts on that championship and Jordan Anthony going home and getting the win?
Yeah, shout out to Jordan. Congrats to him. He was our favorite. I think we both picked him to win 100. I know I did for sure. Max Thomas second, Jelani Watkins, the freshman football player, getting in there. I thought that was an interesting storyline. But this was a hard-fought win. These guys were basically all together through the finish. That reflected in the time. Obviously wasn't as fast as any of us really expected. I didn't think it was going to be a 9.75 race, but I was thinking something in the 9.88 to 9.93, 94 I thought would win it. But nonetheless, Jordan went out there and did what he had to do. He got the dub, capping off an indoor 60 championship, an outdoor 100 SEC, outdoor 200 SEC, and now 100-meter national championship. That is a hell of a resume to sign off on as he's turning pro now. We got something going in the works to get friend of the show. You know what I mean? But yeah. So the 100 was cool. It wasn't like a box office event though. I don't think.
Yeah, it wasn't no box office times on this end here. And I mean, you got people running 10:07 to 10:03 in these races, so it wasn't blockbuster in that sort of thing. But I'd say that the people that you thought were going to be where they're going to be were relatively like they finished right around where you would think they would be. And while Jordan Anthony is turning pro, there's no like if he wasn't, every single person in this final would be returning for next year. The oldest person in this is a junior. Now, obviously, Jordan is not gonna be in this heat next year, but it's just very interesting to see how it's the young guns that are coming out here and performing and doing well. So shout out to I mean, I think Max Thomas put up a good performances all around, captaining that USC team, putting himself in the 4x4. I was a little bit I don't know if you noticed it, but I heard a lot of people talking about it on TV how Jordan just didn't quite look the same. He looks like he was, I don't know if you would say not pacing himself, but he didn't have that same pop. Like, I didn't know if it was an injury thing, if it was just like, hey, it's cold, if it's, what it was. Did you see a similar thing in that one and the two?
Yeah, I didn't see the obvious gap in talent with Jordan and the rest of the field. I think that's been consistent this year. I think this outdoor season, every time he stepped on the track, he's looked significantly more talented than everybody else running against him. And this was the smallest gap all year. He tried to push buttons, and when he tried to push them more specifically in the 200, it just wasn't really there for him. I thought that was interesting, but I don't think that's caused by injury, maybe by load. Like he's had a long season. He's a football guy too. On top of that, I don't think he's ever ran this many races in a season, so maybe that had something to do with it. Maybe stalling out a little bit, but I don't think it's an injury though.
Yeah, I would say like I didn't think he didn't look injured, because usually if it's an injury, you see people like kind of grimacing towards the end. Like Jameeisa Ford at the end of that 200, like it looked like she was, her hip or something wasn't too great, and then obviously she didn't run in the 4x4, or they didn't run the 4x4 at all. So yeah, I think a similar thing of, hey, when he's been probably training almost every day since what, like football OTA, like probably like spring ball almost, like for literally like 20, like over a year straight of training. And then you put on just a couple weeks ago, you're running 9.75. Like I was like, we've talked, like once you run that fast, that's a toll on the body. Like it's going to take some time to recover. So I mean, he did some real G shit of just like going out and winning. So it's like, hey, I'm just gonna do what it takes to win, and he did that. And shout out to him. Question for you: were you surprised to see him announce that he was going pro right here?
No, not at all. Not in the slightest. No, I was not surprised at all.
I was interested because I thought that he might have. I mean, he's like okay at football. Like, I'm not gonna like, he wasn't fantastic. He had 8 catches, 115 yards, and a touchdown. Like for Arkansas standards, like he was not a starter. But I would think that something like this, you might look into, all right, well, now football might be looking at my name a little bit more. Maybe I could, turn that more into an NFL type of career. I thought I was a little bit surprised to see that he didn't look into that, but now like I'm happy he's like as a track guy, like he's going all in on track and field of like, all right, like we saw this with like Arian Knighton, who he was really good at football, and he was like, nah, I'm gonna go in on track and field. So I'm glad that he's going for it, but it was interesting to me. I was kind of surprised that he was right away, right after the championship going. I mean, perfect timing, right? Like your name's not going to be any bigger than it is right now. As a college kid, right after you win the 100. So,
yeah, I feel like he probably knew the day he ran 9.75 he was turning pro. I feel like his phone was probably ringing off the hook after the regionals for him to sign. Yeah,
and he signed NIL with Adidas, right? Is that?
Yeah.
Okay. So are those usually I'm obviously he's gonna if you're signing an NIL with the company, you're probably going to be going through with the with signing there as a pro. I think the only one that I could think of was last year with Parker Valby because she signed, I think her NIL might have been like with Nike
Mhm.
I didn't sign the same as her NIL as she did with her pro contract. I can't remember exactly which way it was, but I'm sure he'll probably be joining Three Stripes Live. Maybe he'll be joining your training group. Let me know if you see him walking around the practice facility, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I would say that. I would not be surprised at all.
Do people like for you guys that are, I guess, college athletes that are looking to turn pro, do people go to your guys' facilities like during practice to kind of see if they want to do it, like
Yeah.
recruiting trips?
People will come throughout the year, kind of give it a trial, check out the group, check out coach. If they decide to come, they do. If they don't, they don't.
There you go. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll have to see if he ends up where he's going to end up training, man. Then let's hit up the 200. So I think this was a little bit of a surprise for what ended up happening. So Carli Makarawu, sorry, butcher your name, out of Kentucky, winning it, and then only gonna go with the last name, Chambara out of Auburn, coming in second, and then you called it with Garrett Collin coming in third with the 19.96. Excuse me. What were your thoughts with this 200 here, man?
Incredible run by Carly, especially running out in lane 9, I believe. Um, Getting that dub. He won indoors, right?
I think he either won or he came in second. I think. Yeah, I believe he won. Comments will let us
Yeah,
know.
I think he won. Hold on, before the comments let us know. Let me check real quick.
Yeah,
Um,
because I remember I think Kambara also came in might have came in second or third because he was the favorite in indoors.
yeah. So he won the final. So
Yeah.
he won indoors and outdoors. That's a crazy feat, and I think he was kind of slept on this outdoor. I didn't put him to win, but in the back of my head, I was like, "Bro, what about the Kentucky kid though? Like, he might really go and win." He did that. Sharamba probably had his best start of the year in order to get second, and then I called it with Garrett getting third. So I do know ball. Y'all try to play me like I don't know ball. I know ball, man.
Yeah, no one knows ball. Stop talking trash on him. He got it. Your picks weren't too bad, man. Your picks weren't too bad. So, but nobody's gonna remember them. They'll just remember what you said originally and not where they actually landed. But
They take the clickbait, bro. They go for clickbait. I'm a rage baiter too, and I really do like when people do take the rage bait. But hey, if you take it, it's on you.
it's on you. And so I'd say, yeah, I thought he had an excellent race. I definitely did not pick him to win. He was a lot more quiet this outdoor season compared to indoors. I mean, dropping a PB in the championship 1984, especially with how the weather wasn't too great. We didn't have many windy times, which was nice. But shout out to him. Whenever I'm seeing what is it? Charamba, he reminds me a lot of
Yeah.
Joe Combele, the way that he runs, where his start is not going to be good. He got a good start here, but it's not going to be great. But he's just a massive runner, big dude, and he can run you down. There just wasn't real estate for him to be able to do that here, but he had a really solid performance, I think too. And my pick, unfortunately, Tamar's McCallum coming in fifth. That's probably what I thought what would have actually happened, but I thought he was gonna turn around and not sell, but he sold, and that was unfortunate for me. But I thought that was a good performance though. I thought everyone at the top did well.
Yeah, it was a hell of a run, bro. 1984, you can never bat an eye at 1984.
Yeah, no, solid stuff. Solid stuff. Then I guess go into your race. Would love to hear for the 400. I know I was texting you a little bit about what's going on with these 400, but we had your pick, Samuel Ogazi, coming through. Only man to go sub 45 here, running a 44.84 to win. William Jones coming in second, 45.53. Jordan Pierre out of Arkansas Pine Bluff. Where the hell is that school? 45.75 to come in third here. How did you see this race shaking out?
I mean, I knew Samuel was gonna win because he's like significantly better than the rest of this field. But this was the worst 400-meter championship in probably the last 20-25 years.
You want to expand on that?
I don't. That's a rough estimate. But as long as I've been tracking since say 2016, this is the worst the final has ever been. Like as far as time goes, time accolades. I mean, shout out to the small school kid Jordan Pierre getting it done. Shout out to the guys that's getting medals. You know, I'm not slighting you guys at all. What it took to win is what it took to win. That's what it is. Shout out to William Jones. But yeah, all in all, like the pool of talent here is poor compared to what we've seen in the past. We got spoiled with guys running 43s. Two guys running 43s, 44 lows every year. You know what I mean? So this is just a little weak point. It's all right.
What was it when it was you and Ross in outdoors? What won it that year?
43.87.
43. So you're telling me a whole second a whole second would have gone by before we get who won the championship here.
Right.
That's crazy. At this point, I think that which time is going to be faster? The New Balance Nationals 4x400 this year, or the NCAA Championship 400? Which time is going to be faster?
It'll be the NCAA one, but that's terrible that is even a conversation. Like, that's terrible that's even a possibility.
You don't think Quincy might go out there and run a 44.83, dude? He might.
It's in the cards. It's in the cards. 100%.
It's not looking great. I need some people to step up here in the men's 400. It's interesting how I think there's a lot of influx of talent of a lot of people that are going to be great. I think next year will be a really good year for these 400 meters, and like there's some good high schoolers that are coming out that should be good. But it was upsetting. I mean, you touched on it earlier. I wanted to see more from Ahmad here. Like, I thought this was his championship to really show up, and it wasn't what I wanted it to be. I mean, 46.07 coming in 7th place, and his 400, he had the opportunity to win in the 4x4. It was him and Justin Braun at the end, and then he was trying to push, and then eventually USF pushed and got the win. I was pulling for him to at the very least medal here, and coming in 7th, it was like, dang, like this could have been a big moment, and it was unfortunate to see how it shaked out. But yeah, need to see a little bit more for these 400 meters. And I think there's going to be some big time high schoolers coming in next year that'll be pushing to get us back to that. Hey, we got to be in the low 44s, high 43s if you want to win a championship.
Yeah, man, I'm ready for that. I'm ready for us to turn the corner here. With 400, get it back fast, make the 400 fast again.
Make 400 fast again. There you go. Get started. So overall, pretty good for the meet for that. Any other things on the men's side for the NCAAs you wanted to touch on before going over to women's?
Yeah, that 4 hurdle, man. That 4 hurdle is crazy.
Nathaniel Ezekiel?
Yeah, boy Nathaniel, bro. My boy Nathaniel ran 19.8. And when he ran in the finals, 19.4? I mean, 47. 47.4. My apologies. But yo, I wasn't sure he could get down into that territory, bro. So for him to run that, right, he's really flying around that track. 47.4 is crazy. Definitely top 5 in collegiate history, right? Got it.
I think so, yeah.
Because I know Caleb was 2 with 47.2. So that had 47.4 got to be top 5, top 10 time all time.
Yeah, it was the collegiate lead for this year. Yeah, 47.49. Damn, that's crazy. Rye really ran a 47.02 in college, though. Like, god damn, like That dude was moving. No, yeah, I mean this was a solid performance of all of the guys in there. So of the top 9, there was the top 3 guys all PR'd. So we had some of the best performances that we could have seen, coming out of them, and 4 out of the 9 people end up setting PRs as well. So very very solid performance all around. And it seems like whenever there's a 400-meter hurdles race, especially in college, it's never close. Like everyone's always getting gapped. Like Nathaniel Ezekiel gaps everybody. Sutherland, I think it was the woman that won Michigan, woman from Michigan that set the collegiate record. She gapped the field. It just seems like it's never close in the 400 meters in NCAAs. There's somebody that's always just gapping everybody from the looks of it.
Yeah, 400 is a weird event because it's like the probably like smallest pool of people actually do it. So the variance is probably like all over the place. But there's a lot of dominance like every year in the 400s.
Yeah, it's somebody that's just that's dominating in it. So, but when Nathaniel Ezekiel, that was he performed well for the 400 hurdles. Once again, like one of Johnny Bracken's to go out there. He didn't have a great competition, but he did all right. He did all right.
Yeah, I mean he was supposed to get 7th. He got 7th. So
yeah, I was thinking he was gonna, like, I had him thinking of like fate. Like I thought he was gonna go off, like maybe not win, at least in like the 110 hurdles. I think he's better at that.
Yeah.
But it was all right. It was all right. Then on the 100 meters for the women, I'd say definitely an upset of what we would see. Samirah Moody coming in first with 11:14. Jameeisa Ford coming in second with 11:14. She beat Jameeisa by 0.003 of a second. Then you have Tima Godbless coming in third with 11:19, followed right behind by Anthea Carlton, who is the sister of Devin, who is the indoor world record holder in the 60s. So, how did you think this 100 meter broke down here?
Not like how I thought it did. It was a great race though, like tightly fought to the end. Bias, I'll admit my bias here. I did want Jameeisa to win because I thought that would have been a crazy legacy thing. And I was rooting for that. Tima second, congrats to her. But yeah, Samirah, sorry. Congrats, you're national champion.
Yeah. I wanted to see Jameeisa Ford go 4 for 4. I had a whole reel that I was ready with Ford, like fofos. I'm tripping. I had a whole thing that was gonna go good, and then I just had to immediately throw it away. So that was kind of unfortunate. But no, she had a solid competition. Really close at the end there to go into the 4x1 that she had. She almost hawked USC down in that 4x1 to begin. If she got the baton just a little bit earlier, if there was a little bit more track, she would have been able to hawk them down. But I mean, USC showed up in this. To have 3 women in the final for a 100, like that's impressive to be able to do. Like they went out and showed up, and so I'm looking forward to how many of these people, when they're coming back next year. I don't know how many of these are going to make a Team USA or compete for that. I think Jameeisa will be able to compete for it. She's got a lot of talent. But overall, impressive performances. What are your thoughts on Tima? God bless. I mean, she was the NCAA leader going into this, and coming in third with 11:19. Was that surprising to you, or disappointing, or kind of check out how you thought?
Kind of strikes out how I thought. I didn't really pick Tima to win. I think for Tima to win, it would have taken a lot more like stars aligning for her to have a perfect race. But I think her talent is top 5 at that's the floor, just based on the talent. And I think this was her first. She might have made the final last year, but I think she had a little bit of lack of experience from what I know of her career so far. So I just didn't pick her to win. That's all it was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now she's got some talent. I didn't think of her as a true competitor for these things
Right.
coming into the year. She shaked out a lot better than I thought she would. Like if you were to tell me that she's going to come in third at the national championship in the beginning of the indoor season, I would have laughed in your face. I didn't think she was going to be like this. So she definitely overperformed where I thought that she would be. So no, that was impressive. That sophomore class, I got some good competitors. I mean, her and Jameeisa, all both being sophomores. I mean, they got some. That's going to be an impressive class in the next couple of years if they all stay through college.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Then we had the 200, Jameeisa getting her get back, being able to come through with the championship in her own event. 22-21, Madison White, 22-23, DeJazz DeFrond, 22-31-39. It's crazy that USC had 6 people in the one combined in the 100 and the 200, and they still lost by 30 points.
Yeah.
How does that happen? How do you have 6 people and you like in the 1 and the 2 and you don't win the national not only do you not win, you get gapped for the national championship. Insane work to be done, but I mean, Jameeisa, I hope that she's all right. I mean, it looked like she was grimacing a little bit at the end of her 200. So to even be dealing with a little bit of injuries and still coming through with the win, once again, the time didn't really matter too much. None of the times were fast, but I think a big time victory for her just to come through at the end there.
Thanks, bro. Congrats to her. Congrats to Madison. Congrats to Deja.
You think she's coming back for another year or turning pro? If you had a guess.
It depends on what she does at USA. If she makes the team in the Open 2 or the Open 1, absolutely she'll go pro. But if she don't, I think she'll be back at school next year because she's got a lot of eligibility. I think she can still. There's still a lot of growing she could do. I think Tim Hall's a great coach, so. And she has a NIL with on running. Like you're good. Just go back to school. Actually.
Yeah, NIL with the new eras of NIL money, you don't have to be pressed to go pro anymore. You can make a little bit of coin coming out of there. So I hope she's coming back. You can help build your brand, build your name, and you're from what it sounds like being in college in the track world is a little bit more. It's more fun socially and everything too. So might as well, if you can, might as well stay. So good performances on the women's side. I guess here we can close out on this with your event with the women's 400 here. Aaliyah Butler, who got the win, two Bulldogs being in the top 2. Then was it Dejina Oakley who went sub 50 for the first time, coming in second, and then Rosie Fong in third with the 50.51. Aaliyah Butler dominated this race. It feels like from start to finish. It wasn't really even close. She was dominating last year as a sophomore, and even on getting into making the team there. So what do you think's the limit for Aaliyah Butler? She seems like she's just on another level right now with this how she's performed.
Yeah. First of all, congrats to Aaliyah Butler. I think this was a dominant ass season. From January to now. Killed. I don't know if she lost a collegiate race all year. Yeah, man, that's the epitome of dominance. She could potentially be the best American 400 meter runner moving forward, not just in college, just in general. For this next tier, hopefully she doesn't get too many miles on her running at Georgia in these high intense races, rounds and stuff. But yeah, she dominated that shit, bro, all year. Yeah, it's very impressive.
Yeah, start to finish wasn't even really close for her of just being on a complete other level. I mean, I'm not sure where the Bowerman is going to go for this. This is on the women's side. I feel like there's a decent amount of people that can end up getting it. Like, is it going to be in Aaliyah Butler? Will you give it over to Jameeisa Ford, who did multiple events and won one of them? Could you go on to the pole vault with Hannah Mole, who broke the national record? Like, there's a lot of different women here. Even the Alabama woman that won the steeplechase. You know, there's a lot of
you break the Sydney McLaughlin record, you got a chance, man.
Yeah.
You break the Sydney McLaughlin record, you got a chance.
Yeah, like there's gonna be people that would probably win the Bowerman that are gonna be left outside and not even be finalists here. And unlike a few years in the past, like when they snubbed Jasmine Moore or Mackenzie Long, like that didn't make any sense to me. I thought they both were finalists, but here I think there's some really good debates for. I can understand how some of these people will get left out, but I think it's going to be tough to not give it to Aaliyah Butler. She had a hell of a season here, but I guess we'll find out in January of next year, in 6 months, who had the best collegiate season. Because even though we're not counting any other track meets for the next 6 months, we're going to have to wait until after the Heisman for next football season is given out for us to find out who had the best college track year. It's the stupidest thing that we do in this sport, and I don't understand it. So looking forward to seeing how that all shakes out in 6 months' time when everyone's forgotten about what happened. So that should be fun. Going outside of the NCAA, there were a few other things that went down in track and field. Probably the one that had shocked the world the most. I did a mini video on this, but we had the unfortunate news of Grand Slam track canceling their final LA slam. And you know, it's upsetting. Now, since that came out, reports have, you know, shaken up. So some of the information that I was talking about in that video has now changed based on what Michael Johnson and everyone had said. It seems like they were canceling this for the long-term financial viability of the league, which initially it had seemed like wasn't the issue, but now it seems, you know, based on the reports, that that's why they were canceling this thing. And really upsetting. I mean, we had even you know, Sydney's coach Kersey saying how this is like really disappointing when you have these leagues and, you know, you're canceling it right away. And it sucks for the sport of track. There's people that are like clowning on Grand Slam, which is like, I don't get it. Like, they're trying to make a big difference, and it's like you're almost celebrating its downfall and demise. It doesn't really make any sense to me of like they're trying to make a difference, and, you know, unfortunately it didn't work out right now. But I mean, where did you were you shocked or surprised with this cancellation? And I mean, you know, like there are training partners of yours that have competed in this thing. Like, you talked to them about it, and were they shocked of what kind of went down?
Hey man, I was shocked, bro. I actually haven't talked to the guys yet, but I was shocked for sure. I didn't expect this. Really disappointed, kind of fearful for the future of this. See how long it's going to go, the longevity of it. You know, I thought it was something good in the sport. I was a big advocate of it. So, you know, the uncertainty definitely is not positive. I hope that they bring it back, and, you know, it's unfortunate that they cancel the heat, man.
Yeah, it was really upsetting to me. I think there was like I've been super excited about this like the Grand Slam. Like, I've been, you know, we talk about it all the time, and it's the most that anyone has really paid attention to a regular season championship. I'm seeing a lot of comparisons online of just like, oh yeah, like there weren't as many the viewership ratings had shown that there were about 235,000 people that would tune in to watch the first Grand Slam competitions on TV, which was fairly equivalent to the NCAA championship. And compared to Diamond League, which was, I think they said like in the millions, like 1 or 2 million. There's some reports, I'm sure I can take a look. Like, it was a lot more like viewership wise when Diamond League, when they had it on regular TV. But I find it hard to compare that of where Diamond League's been around for 15 years, 10, 15 years. And you're going to compare it to a first time league. Like, I think that's a really bad comparison. Like, how about you compare it to where was Diamond League in its first year, you know, in its first ever competition? Like, what were those TV ratings? I think that would be a much more fair competition to compare it to. But yeah, unfortunate for the certainty of track and field and, where is this going to go? Like, if you had asked me what I think of the certainty of Grand Slam success, a week ago, I've been like fairly certain it's gonna go pretty well. But now I have no clue with what this is gonna look like next year in the future, and I'm sure it's not boding well for the league, and there's gonna have to be a lot of changes, which is gonna have to happen.
Absolutely, bro, man. Sorry, I keep yawning. I don't know what's going on this morning. I must ain't sleeping up last night.
You all right? You all right? Out partying too much, huh? Just long night.
Not even, bro.
You good? But so yeah, it was unfortunate for Grand Slam. I'm sure there'll be some updates on where they'll be going. They did say that they do plan on coming to LA in the future, so I'm sure they'll be there next year. I'm sure Philly is probably another place they're going to end up going, and I would be surprised if they go to Kingston, just based on how that showed up, and we'll see about Miami. But hopefully they'll have some announcements soon. But I'm sure sponsors and everything are not too excited about what's going on. They're going to have some a little bit of splaining to do for what happened this year. So we'll have to see. Another one that we had seen outside of track. So I talked about this on my on Twitter, but it's really embarrassing right now that the two most talked about races in track and field this past week was Ishowspeed racing against an influencer, then Tyreek Hill running in a high school race. Those were the two most talked about races this entire week, probably this entire season. It's a football player that's 31 years old, and then another streamer racing a former college football player. Those are the two races that everyone was talking about. That is embarrassing as hell for track and field. And we need to be looking ourselves in the mirror if we're talking about where is the state of our sport, that we have people that are not even really in it that are taking the excitement from it. One that shows there is inherent excitement in people running. Like, people like to watch races, and see, no one cared what time Ishowspeed beat, what Ashton Hall or whatever his name is in that 60, not even, it was probably like a 30-meter race. And nobody cared what the time was. But it's two big name people in their own respective right racing against each other. And then you have Tyreek Hill, a big name in his own respective right, racing against a bunch of high schoolers. Like, people don't care. Like, it's so upsetting that is the talk of the town. That's what, like, Bleacher Report didn't post crap about Jordan Anthony winning the NCAA championship, but they posted 3 times about Tyreek Hill running a 10.15.
Yeah.
That is the state of track and field right now. And it's upsetting. It's annoying that that's how that those things are getting our big name. So that's another one of my stepping stools I had to get on, and just upset about where our sport is as a whole.
Hey, glad you mentioned Tyreek, because I had a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to start curving this narrative. Do you think that Tyreek Hill could make this U.S. outdoor team for the World Championship?
That is a great question. Could Tyreek Hill make Team USA for the World Championships? I say yes. I think Tyreek Hill could potentially make Team USA. Let me explain why. So 10.15 is sliding. Like, that is quick, especially for a home opener or for a season opener. Let me give you 3 names of people that he's ran faster than this year. Okay. Cravont Charleston, he's ran faster than him this year. Ronnie Baker, who made the finals in the Olympics back in 2020, he ran faster than him this year. And Andre DeGrasse, Olympic 200-meter champion, 4x1 champion multiple times in the Olympics. Like, he's ran faster than these guys already, and they're in their season. This is what they do. He's ran faster than these guys. And Tyreek Hill is not a track guy. He plays football. So 10.15 is good, bro. Like, like people were thinking, DK Metcalf when he ran that 10:37, we're like, that's quick. Like, no, 10:15, and the last time you ran a 100 was back in 2014. No, that's moving, bro. Like, at 31, like I can see a world where he can get this down to a 10:0, maybe depending on when, get this down to a 9:9, like 9:98, 9:98, 9:99. And that there's potential to win, to get onto a team. If you're running 10 flats, 9 9 9s, you could end up winning it. You could end up getting on some sort of team. So is is he a favorite? Of course not. He's not a favorite to get on the team, but he hasn't like, there is a chance that Tyreek Hill, 10 years retiring from track, gets on this team. And if he does, that will be the end for track speed is not football speed. We will be getting clowned for the next decade if Tyreek Hill makes this world team. But that was moving, bro. 10:15 is I was surprised with that.
Yeah, but he's a slider, no cap. Man, that was incredible. I think he can make a team too, though. For real, he actually can make a team. Like, he can legitimately make a team, and I want him to try.
I hope he does too. I hope he actually tries because that was good. And this also, I'm not as confident in if we see a Noah versus Tyreek race. I'm not as confident anymore in a 60 meters. I'm not like 10-1, like 10-1-5. Of course, he's not going to beat Noah in the open 100. Like he's not going to beat him. It would have to be Noah is on his worst day, Tyreek is on his best day, and even then, I still don't think that he would challenge Noah in that. But this is given a little bit more credence to, if they're running a 60-meter race, a 50-meter race, that first 50 is not Noah's strongest suit in the 100. Tyreek got out pretty well in that 50. Like, if they were to run in a 50 or 60, he would have to go, because if you're running that in the 10-1-5 win legal, that's impressive. So I mean, I'd love to see him in it, because how many more people, if he at least tries if he goes to the USA's, because he hit the minimum time for USA's. He doesn't have the automatic yet, because I think the automatic is a 10:06 or 10:07. He's not there yet, but if he even goes to USA's, how many more people are going to watch the US Championships if Tyreek Hill is running in the US Championships? It's going to
double. Take our following and double it if he runs at USA's.
Exactly. Just like, and so that's what I'm hoping for. If we get Tyreek Hill in, people going to tune in to USA's. So now that was moving. Did you talk at all with any of your like training people, and you get any other inside thought on what people thought on that 10-1-5?
No, I ain't talking about that.
No, well, that was impressive though. That was good. That was good. And last one that I had for us here, high schooler Maurice Gleason running 9.8 twice in a row within 2 hours of each other. These high schoolers are getting insane times. Now, it was a 10.87 with a 2.4 wind, and then, a 9.87 with a 2.4 wind. Then I believe it was a 9.82 with a 2.9 wind. The second race didn't count because he false started. There's videos now online if you want to see it. First, he false started, and then he twitched, which was another false start. So he false started twice, and so that last 9.8 didn't count. And then he ran again, and it was windy anyway. But that was that's crazy. Being able to go out and you're beating Christian Coleman twice with a 9.8. I mean, the confidence has to be through the roof for something like that. If you're a high school kid to come through, and potentially, what's he going to do at Nike Nationals, and is he going to be going for U20s, or will he be going for the the regular world team? I mean, that's a crazy speed coming out of high school right now.
Absolutely, but that kid's a nut. That kid's crazy.
Just like absolutely sliding for him. I mean, very strong, like powerful runner. Like we've seen this new generation of track athletes just taking this to another level. So I mean, seeing him going up against Tate Taylor in the Nike Nationals, which I think is next weekend potentially, that's going to be a big time race. So overall, crazy stuff coming out of this weekend in track and field for sure.
Absolutely, bro. I have one last thing.
Mm-hmm.
That Oslo 300-meter hurdle race.
Yes. What's the thoughts? What we got for Oslo 300?
Karsten is a cold. Boy, he cold, boy. Look, Karsten the coldest. Hey, come them hurdles, man, where I had the lead going into the last 100. How the hell you walk somebody down on the outside in the last 100 of a 300 hurdle? Bro, he ran 32.67. Like, I know Division I athletes that cannot run 32.67 in a 300-meter open event. That is actually crazy. 32.6 is fast as shit over hurdles, bro. Like 32 is a lot of like my practice rep times if I'm doing like repeats or something. 32 is flying, bro. You basically running sub 11. You're running sub 11 for hundreds over hurdles, bro. That was one of the most incredible races, like time-wise, performance-wise. Like, that was one of the most incredible races we will see all year. Like, that was crazy, bro. Karsten is on a different level, bro. Like, that was incredible, bro. And I was rooting for Ryder to win the race. American dude, I mean, black dude, I'm always for it. But anyways, bro, Karsten, the boy ripped the shirt off after. Yo, shout out to Karsten, man. He turned me up, man.
Karsten runs like an absolute nut. Like he doesn't have any fear. Like I don't think fear is like ever an emotion that he's felt. It's just I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna run like a chicken with my head cut off and see what happens. And if you can hold on, then great. And if you can't, then too bad. That's what happens. And like it's just a different mindset that he's got when he's coming into this sort of thing, which it makes it hard to go up against him. Like I can only imagine the mental games that he's got for these races. And yeah, man, like he's running what people run in open races over hurdles, which now it's like, okay, what are you going to run in that open 300? Like what type of times are you dropping in an open 3 if that's what you're dropping in the 300 hurdles? And I mean, I'm sure this gives him the mental edge going into the rest of the year. I'm surprised that we got all 3 of them in the same race. Like that was pretty surprising.
Yeah.
It's in the regular season race. Like we haven't seen them all 3 go up against each other. Sometimes it'll be 2 of them, but all 3 in the same, not regular season meet was a good one to see.
Absolutely, bro. Shout out to them.
No, this hell of a good competition. And like I was talking to Dos Santos at the Philly Diamond League, not Diamond League, sorry, the Philly Grand Slam. I was like, yo, how crazy is it that we have the 3 greatest people in the event all competing at the same time? It's like, imagine if like LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, and Michael Jordan were all in their prime at the same time. Like that is what you've got. Like you have got the 3, like great, like it's like it doesn't happen. And so it's I'm sure we'll look back fondly at what we have right now of having in a couple of years of like, holy crap, we were spoiled with some of the greatest 400-meter hurdlers to ever do it all happen at the same time. So crazy stuff. Then do you have your international athlete of the week? Who's taking this one home? There's a lot of great performances. So
bro, Karsten Warholm, bro. I printed it out. It's on a boat right now. It's on the way out there to Norway, bro. Shout out to him, man. Athlete of the week, man. 32.67 over 300 hurdles, bro. Pop your shit. But
it's on the way. Go and check. You might get in the mail in the next few days. So it's on the way to Norway. Shout out. First time winner of the athlete of the week for Mr. Warholm. So big time for him. Big time for him. Anything else we got in the track world? I think that's mostly it. There you go. All right. Well, thank you everyone for watching. Been another episode of Track World News Podcast. Remember, like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Have a good one. Peace.